Okay, so today we're diving into something a little different.
Oh.
Yeah, so we found these notes for a motivational podcast episode, and it's all about like the power of a positive mindset.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I know what you might be thinking, self-help's not for me.
Right.
But trust me on this one, there's some really, really interesting stuff here.
Okay.
It's really about how we can train our minds to handle challenges better and turn those challenges into opportunities for growth.
So it's kind of like going beyond just, good vibes only.
Right, exactly.
It's like these notes really look at the science behind it.
Yeah.
Like how a positive mindset can actually rewire our brains to respond to setbacks in a more, I guess, constructive way.
I see.
It's not about ignoring the negative stuff. It's more about shifting perspective.
Okay.
So we can see those challenges as stepping stones instead of roadblocks.
I love that stepping stones.
Yeah.
So how does this actually work practically?
Yeah.
Because positive mindset can sound kind of vague.
Right. Well, think about it this way. When we face a challenge, our brains naturally go into like this fight or flight mode. But with a positive mindset, we're kind of training our brains to choose growth instead.
Oh.
We're teaching ourselves to see obstacles as chances for learning, adapting, and ultimately getting closer to our goals.
So it's not just about like feeling good.
Yeah.
It's about actually changing how we approach problems.
Exactly.
So did these notes offer any practical advice on how to do that?
Absolutely. One of the key practices they talk about is gratitude.
Okay.
And you've probably heard this before.
Right.
But these notes go beyond just the basic be grateful message.
Okay.
They suggest like a daily practice of actually writing down 3 things you're grateful for. And there's a reason for that.
Okay.
Studies have shown that this gratitude journaling can actually increase activity in certain parts of our brains.
Really?
Yeah, the parts associated with happiness and well-being.
So we're like actively rewiring our brains to focus on the positive,
Exactly, you got it.
not just passively hoping for it.
Yeah, it's about creating new neural pathways.
Wow.
And another technique they discuss is reframing challenges.
Right.
You can choose to see a setback not as like a failure, but as valuable feedback. Instead of asking, why me, you ask, what can I learn from this?
I like that.
There are even specific techniques like cognitive restructuring where you actively challenge your negative thoughts and replace them with more balanced and realistic ones.
I've tried that before, like catching myself when I start spiraling and consciously choosing a more positive way to look at it.
Yeah.
It can be really powerful.
It is.
But it takes effort.
It does.
It's so easy to fall back into those negative thought patterns.
Which is why these notes also talk about the importance of our environment.
Oh, interesting.
Specifically, who we surround ourselves with.
Okay.
They emphasize the idea that our mindset can be heavily influenced by the people we spend the most time with.
That makes sense.
If we're constantly around negativity, it can drain us and make it much harder to stay positive.
Right.
But on the other hand, positive people can be incredibly uplifting.
For sure.
And they can help us see the good even when things are tough.
Yeah.
Think about it. Who are the most positive influences in your life?
That's a good question.
How do they make you feel?
It's true. My most positive friends, they always seem to have this infectious energy that rubs off on me. They help me see the world in a brighter light, even when I'm struggling.
And that's exactly it.
Yeah.
We need to be mindful of who we let into our inner circle.
So to kind of wrap things up,
Okay.
these notes suggest we focus on practicing gratitude daily, actively reframing challenges,
Yes.
and surrounding ourselves with positive influences.
Okay.
Is there anything else you found particularly insightful?
Well, the notes also pointed out that these practices aren't just about feeling good. They have tangible benefits that are backed by research.
Okay.
For example, studies show that gratitude can improve sleep. Yeah. And boost our immune system.
Wow.
It can even strengthen our relationships.
I didn't know that.
And cognitive reframing techniques, they've been shown to reduce anxiety and depression.
Interesting.
So while these might seem like simple practices,
Yeah.
they can have a profound impact on our overall well-being.
I'm definitely going to ramp up my gratitude journaling.
Good idea.
And I love that quote from the notes by Roosevelt. The only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today.
It's a good one.
Really makes you think.
It does.
And speaking of powerful tools, did you see that the next podcast episode we're diving into is all about visualization and manifestation?
Oh.
That's right up our alley.
I'm definitely curious about that one.
Yeah, the idea of like consciously using our thoughts to chase our reality
Yeah.
is fascinating.
We'll have to add that to the list for our next deep dive.
Definitely. But in the meantime,
Yeah.
Yeah. Thinking with that Roosevelt quote, what doubts might be holding you back?
Yeah.
What could you achieve if you really believed in yourself and your potential?
That's something to think about.
Food for thought.
Definitely.
All right. See you next time.
See ya. Bye.
Bye-bye.